G'day, Steel Nation. How you going? It's Mark here, Mark Davidson from Steel Nation Australia. What's going on? Let's continue! What's that? Let's go! Baby! Yes! Yes! Let's go!
What's the deal with the schedule?
I think the stereotype that we drink Fosters, and the first Foster I saw was in Pittsburgh. It's a true story.
Yeah,
The first ever Foster I saw was in America. I've never seen one.
I thought that was like Australia for beer.
For what? Alrighty, Steel Nation, welcome back to Steelers Nation Australia. Freezing. I'm absolutely freezing. Just one thing too, there's a bloke downstairs cleaning the tiles and stuff like that, so it might be a bit noisy. So hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it doesn't interfere with the audio. And I tell you, I'm freezing. I should be wearing more stuff in terms of it's like 11 degrees here. But in your American term, it's like, hey, let me see. Weather. It's like 12 degrees, which is your Fahrenheit 54. But that's cold for me. That is super, super cold. So, alrighty, what have I missed? What's going on? Let's check into the chat, see how everyone's doing. I love it. Let's make it happen, man. Hey. Let's make it happen. I'm for it. I'm all for it. Mikey D versus Jenna Hunter in 2026. I'm all for that, man. I'm all for that. Sign me up twice. All right. What's going on, Jetta? Welcome to the show. G'day, Sean. I saw a lot of you guys in Steel Curtain Network. Scobro show. By the way, it's a great show. Good show, that show. Dave and Big Bro Sco. Two good fellas talking about football, having a great time. G'day, TD. What's going on? Says Hooly Dooley and a few towels and 46s and bungles suck on your image side. Fantastic. Alrighty. Yeah, I second that 1,000%. Sign me up. G'day, George. Ahoy. Yeah, man, it's pretty. It's not. No neighbor today. No truck. It's just some downstairs noise. It's all good. Alrighty. So what do we want to discuss? I've got a few things I'm going to bring up. Like I talked about in my update. Of course, Roman Wilson got hurt today. This whole idea around, I still think it's pretty crazy. Russel Wilson, I think, is going to be quarterback number one. We can talk about that. I've seen limited things with the offense and defense in terms of reps. I did see George Pickins catch a pass from Justin Fields in deep into the end zone, one-on-one versus JBJ. Thought that was really cool. I saw Justin Fields celebrate with Pickins after he ran into the touchdown zone. And I thought, the team's coming together. For what I've looked at nothing today. I've only woken up and seen a few things on the internet. So you guys know more than I do. Hooly Dooley. But yeah, this is why I told him my episode today about Russell Wilson is Mr. Limited. I saw a comment on, I think it might have been Deke, what's his name? Big Deke News, Arthur Moten Deke. And he was talking about the quarterback competition with Justin Fields. And I just don't think there is one in terms of actually going for a job. Now, there's quarterback competition where, who's gonna be the better quarterback? this guy, that guy. But in terms of like the depth chart and, Fields playing to a high caliber level and then taking over Wilson, I don't think that's going to happen. But let me know what you guys think. I truly think it's going to be if they started Trubisky, and prove me wrong if I'm wrong. But if they started Trubisky, shouldn't they go and start Wilson? Like he's a veteran guy, Super Bowl champion. They brought him in for that reason. They went and got Fields next to be the backup, right? And potentially it could be that maybe a franchise guy in the future if they sign into a contract. We don't know. But there's a lot of hype around now Fields, and it's not overly a bad thing. I just think that when push comes to shove, when Mike Tomlin releases the depth chart, it's going to say Wilson quarterback number 1. And so far, he has been very limited. Mr. Unlimited has been very limited in his, in their approach to using him in training camp. But like Wilson said, he wants to play 17 games, 20 games, 21 games if they have the wild card and go all the way to the Super Bowl. Like a few days ago, I talked about this stuff saying I'm not too worried about this happening with this player. Like, okay, they're playing Fields, they're playing this, playing that, right? It's good to have some competition. You need competition at that position. You need competition in the locker room. It's good to have players getting around Fields, and you might be able to hear it now, getting players around, the quarterbacks. Like I want to see good quarterback play and also good offensive play. But the headline news all around the NFL, all they can focus on is Wilson versus Fields. I don't think it has to be a versus. I think it's more. I'm happy to see Wilson succeed, or when he comes back, hopefully he can start getting involved in the offense. And he has been very limited with his high calf sprain, what he had, and Fields has been the guy out there, but no one's talking about Kyle Allen. If I guess if it were to be, if you were to play Fields from week 1, does that mean Russell Wilson goes right back to QB2? I just don't think the Steelers Nation, the Steelers organization is going to bench Wilson. Call me crazy. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think they've put him in the pole position up front. They know who it's going to be. It's going to be Wilson, and then if something happens, then Fields and Kyle, and then the next guy, right? Dead set. Yeah. G'day, TD's in the house too. G'day, Jeremiah Yoda. What's up? Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I think he hurt a high ankle sprain. High calf injury, calf strain. And we've all been through that with or most people have been through sport. It sucks. You're in pain. It's not the best. Does Wilson need to be, going through all the reps right now? Not overly. We're still about 1 month away. 1 month away from actual football. And he's been playing. How many years has Wilson been playing? Like 14 years. I'm just not sold. How many years has he been playing? Russell, you guys know more than I do. Russell Wilson stats. Right? Since when? 2012? So 12 years in the league. 43,000 yards, 334 touchdowns, 106 interceptions. I'm not too worried at this point that Wilson isn't playing. Now, hear me out though. If Wilson's injury lingers and keeps going on and on and on and on and on, and we don't see him before, 1 week before versus the Falcons, then yeah, maybe it was a bad time, right? Or maybe he gets injured in season. That can be a very bad time too. But he's played, of course, with the Seahawks, Broncos, 43,000 yards, 334 touchdowns, 106 interceptions, a rating of 100. Not too worried at this point where it's quarterback competition for this guy and that guy. But I think it's a different kettle of fish, different idea when we hear this quarterback competition. I want to see quarterback competition. At the same time, though, I do think that Tomlin and the Steelers are going to choose quarterback number 1. If they can put fucking Trubisky there, if Trubisky can win quarterback number 1 over Kenny Pickett a few years ago, then they're going to go with Wilson at quarterback number 1 and then give Fields number 2. I don't know. That's just the way I see it. But you guys can chime in here too. TD says Fields just needs work. Let there be rock, 100%. Are you guys singing a song? Wilson, yeah, I reckon so. It depends what happened. It depends. We still don't know who's going to sign a contract, right? But I think I have seen. I want to watch. Look, I like Deke, right? Deke's a good bloke, but I think sometimes he tends to change from one thing to the other really fast, right? He'll be all in on Kenny Pickett, then give up, or he'll be all in on Russell Wilson, and the slight chance we see Justin Fields start to do something, move the ball around, do some good plays, and also there's been some bad plays too. I've seen him throw interception to Deshaun Elliott, right? But I think Deke sometimes can be a bit overreactive right away of like, oh, Fields is the guy, he's the guy, he's the guy. Then next minute, it's like, oh, wait a minute, Russell Wilson, he's the guy. And as a fan base, we do that. We definitely chase that and go, we see that what we see right now is Fields running around, throwing the ball, younger guy, but I still think it's going to be Russell Wilson. I don't know. I could be very, very wrong. But in my assumption is that the Steelers just do that with the plan was to bring Wilson in, play him at quarterback number one, and then get a second quarterback if something happens, right? And if something happens to him, you've got Kyle Allen or someone else comes up. So I don't know. I think it's a bit of an overreaction to say the fellas on SEN today were talking about story and non-stories. I think it's a bit of a non-story, but the NFL media, the clickbait YouTubers out there that are fucking terrible, and you know who you are. There's so many shit ones out there. It's not even funny. They persuade you and send you in different directions. They're just really frustrating. They try and trick the audience into this, and this. Like, you know who I'm talking about. But from my perception, from being really far away, and I just get the news off the internet, right? Most everyone does. It's Wilson, QB1, and Fields is doing a good job, which we want him to, and he's QB2. I don't think there's anything more than that. But at the same time, if we didn't have this discussion, we wouldn't have anything to talk about, right? We'd just be like, okay, Wilson's playing well, but I'm just waiting for Wilson to come back. Rightio. 13 people in the house. Make sure everyone hits a like and the sub and all those kind of things. All the YouTube stuff will be fantastic. By the way, if you haven't subbed yet, can you just someone do it? Someone sub. Someone make a second account. I've been sitting on, and it's been pissing me off. I've been sitting on 2,474 for like months. 2,474. If someone could just make an account and just put 2,475, that'd be great. That'd be awesome to see. I'm begging for one sub so the number can fucking change. I'm just over it. I'm overseeing that number. Every time I log in, the exact same number, 2,474. Here I am with some problems in my life, begging for a sub. Alrighty. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. There's nothing wrong with as well with doing 7 shots and getting Fields involved into that red zone offense or 2-minute offense or whatever it may be, or maybe you sub in and sub out Wilson to Fields. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's something with the Steelers group. Yeah, we're going to see Fields at some stage in the regular season, but it's going to come back to, I think, quarterback number one. Like, there's nothing wrong with this idea of quarterback competition. I think it's the expectation of the Steeler fan thinking, oh no, Fields is going to be number one. That's why I have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with the quarterback competition itself. That's fine. It's the expectation of I think people are thinking that Fields will be quarterback number one and where Russell Wilson is sitting. Can it be 47? G'day, Jay Quest. What's going on? Right. And Jay Quest made an interesting point in the comments on the other video, on the update video. He said that neither of the two, Wilson and Fields, will be the quarterback of the future next year for that franchise, right? And I think as well, this is coming towards look, it's a lot of fun, but it's not near the territory of the receiver two talk just yet. And we're going to talk about Wilson in a minute. But it's the quarterback talk is always driven because since Big Ben has left, we had Trubisky, it was terrible. We had Kenny Pickett in the draft, which was a failed idea, and that was awful. We had Mason Rudolph, where many fans wanted Rudolph to be in that situation, but other fans didn't want him to be there. And he led us to the playoffs, and we didn't get a chance then. Then next minute, all three are gone, and we get Wilson, Fields, and Kyle Allen, right? It's a whole new idea with these three new quarterbacks, but it also could be a good thing too. So I'm looking forward to actually seeing football be played out. My Friday, your Thursday is Bears versus Houston Texans. I normally go live that day and jump on the show and watch the game and just do commentary and back and forth Steelers talk and football talk. However, I can't. I've got my Friday mornings from 8 o'clock till 2 is booked out with my job, so maybe I might watch it after and do a live. I don't know, but football's back, man. I'm keen to see like actual football play, and it sucks with the receiver news as well. G'day, you. What's going on? Having a few sherbets. Yeah, I agree. I think it could be that, and I agree too. I think we're overlooking it. I think, and not everyone in the chat, but I think a lot of people are overlooking it. I think Fields can be used for a weapon. It can be used in sub packages, can be used as kickoff returner, all that kind of stuff, right? G'day, Jam. What's going on? Yeah, and that's another good point too. I think it might take some years before we land our franchise quarterback. Hope I'm wrong, but franchise, yes, and that's why it was so special. Like going back to Big Ben era when I've got this bloke here, right? All you guys, Big Ben was awesome, right? Two-time Super Bowl champion. Thank you, Yui, mate. Appreciate that. Two-time Super Bowl champion and been there 3 times. And when I'm growing up as a kid watching the game, all I had really was Big Ben. Since 2002, I was a fan. I had Tommy Maddox. So many fans like me have been on this ride like this, like Yui's like my age. All we've seen is Big Ben. Now we've got some stuff around like who's going to be the next quarterback, right? Hopefully we don't turn into so done. I need a break. I'm done. When will we get our franchise? When will we get our franchise receiver number 2? I'm done. I'm so done with the day. I don't even know what I was saying. Okay, transition. Roman Wilson went down today, which sucks, right? That's one of the best comments I've seen in a long time. And that's why I love this, man. I love this stuff so much. I can't wait to get into the season and actually get hyped up and pumped up. I was watching last night. I was watching the replay from Steelers versus Bengals, 2002 when Trubisky started or whatever it was. Yeah, 2002, I think, and went down to the overtime, and it was the miss. They scored the point 2020. They missed the field goal. Minka blocked it, and then it was overtime. The Bengals went down, missed a field goal. We went down. Chris Boswell missed his field goal, hit the post, and then I think the Bengals went down again, got sacked in a fumble, and Joe Burrow fell over. I was watching the highlights yesterday. Then I thought, you know what? I know it sounds a bit like, it's really weird to watch yourself online and all that kind of stuff. But I went and watched back my Steelers Nation watch party for that. And my reaction that whole time and some of the comments I was getting was, I just wish this game would end. Like, that kind of reminds me of that. Like, the crazy times that we go through in this whole thing about franchise receiver 2, I'm done. When I was watching that game, I'm physically and emotionally done. Like, I'm fucking done. If you remember that game, Bengals versus Steelers, and we won by 3 points, there was a certain part in that game where I didn't even want to watch it. I was like, I can't handle Trubisky going down the field anymore trying to win. And also, we sacked the quarterback, Joe Burrow, 7 times, and the Steelers intercepted him 5 times. And we still were at like 20-20 to win that game. It was a crazy, crazy emotional roller coaster. So when will we get our franchise receiver number 2? Next year. I don't know. Next year. There we go. He always says, Big Ben's rookie year was my first. That's awesome. My first year memories. And yeah, he was that quarterback for like 17 years. It's going to take its time. But hopefully we don't turn into the Browns. Like where the Cleveland Browns, where we get quarterback after quarterback. And they you know what? I didn't like Baker. I didn't like Baker as a Browns quarterback. I like Baker as a Tampa Bay quarterback. They've got a pretty good team, I think, with Baker moving the parts around and have a chance to win the NFC South. Like, Baker's a pretty competitive quarterback. I know it's crazy to say. I didn't like him as a Brown, but the way they treated him, threw him under the bus, and then next minute you see him being really successful in Buccaneers land. That would have been a guy, if the Steelers wouldn't have got him, I would have been pretty excited to see. I know it's crazy, Baker Mayfield for us, but now we've got Russell Wilson. I'm happy with that. I'm all good. All righty. I can't believe it, eh? Sean says our QB room this year is carbon copy of 1996 season. Alrighty. So I've got some other things I want to talk about too with the receiver. I know I did a video on it, but it's always good to catch up live too. And I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear it in the background, the buzzing? You might be able to hear some of it. So let's talk about this. Jeremy Fowler says sources clarify or classify Steelers receiver Roman Wilson, who was carted off with an injury, as week to week, could be okay, so it could miss some time, but the injury does not appear serious. I did hear with Roman Wilson's injury, it's like a high ankle sprain, so maybe he's rolled up on his ankle, someone's, trod on it or whatever it may be. I did hear from one report, it might have been Saunders out there talking about, like, they use the cart because the cart is obviously you can't walk up steps, so don't worry about the injury cart being something too crazy where it's a massive, massive injury and he's out for the whole season or he's torn his ACL or whatever it is, right? I don't think it's that. In Latrobe or Latrobe, where they are, everything's on a hill. So they walk down to the field. So they just use a cart to get around. But this does beg a question out there. Receiver 2, what, they talk about that a lot. I think Frymove's going to step up and get a lot of reps and a lot of receptions, all those kind of things. I think Pickins will have a big year too. But if there is no Roman Wilson, he needs these reps to get better and to learn the offense. We all know how it went with Calvin Austin III. Wasn't the best scenario that he missed his first year. Now he's going into his second year, but his third year in the NFL. So you got to play football. You need to be out there. So this sucks. And you know what? Injuries happen. Russell Wilson was pushing the sled. He got injured. Rodney, Hot Rod Williams, he got tackled and landed on his shoulder. I think Cordero Patterson was a bit injured. Cole Holcomb, I'm pretty keen to see how that works out with him. But yeah, Roman Wilson, he's not there. He's injured, so I hope he comes back strong and he was going to hopefully have a big year. I don't think he'll be sidelined maybe for the first game, maybe for like Texans. Maybe he can also get himself back in rhythm in training camp and padded practices for the Bills game. But yeah, I don't know if you guys heard any other reports than that. I'm just thinking, get back to health and see how you go. Other news too, we saw some roster updates. We've signed tight end Matt Sokol and DB Kyler McMichael. Released Marquez Callaway, the receiver, and Josiah Scott. So 2 in, 2 out. Not going to talk about these blokes too much. I'm not even too sure if they're going to make the team. There is now, I think the tight end signing is really filling in for Rodney Williams, and the DB one maybe just changing him and putting in place for Josiah Scott. So unfortunately, there's those fellas that's part of the business for Callaway and Scott. They'll hopefully try and find another team. But this is what every year, man. Every year it goes from 90 players to 53. About 30-odd players get cut. They find their practice squad teams. And yeah, it's pretty. It's oh no. Yes, I know. Yeah, I already saw that. I saw that, man. 100% you is correct. I already saw bits and pieces around this shit. And you know what? That's sometimes why. Sometimes why my stuff doesn't go mega viral is because I don't play that game. Maybe I should play that game, but I want to be a real Steelers fan and not a fake one. I can't push the BS. Now, I will sometimes grab articles and say this person should be here or should the Steelers go and get this guy, but you don't overdo it. The blokes there the bloke over there of all Steelers talk, all Steelers nonsense. He will grab this and say, yep, in 3, 2, 1, the Steelers should trade for Ayuk trade. Like it's going to happen, right? G'day, Gamer. What's going on? Just arrived, chat. What's happened with Russell Wilson? Is this a news thing or it's an opinion? No, it's all opinion, man. It's all opinion. Yeah, but even that's to a sense, right? Like that's a good point. Gamera comes in here and says, well, my title is Steel Nation Australia Live. Russell Wilson is Mr. Limited, right? It's a very good point. Now, I'm making a statement but it's not a news thing. It's my opinion on what I think about Russell Wilson. And actually, it's the complete opposite what I think about Russell Wilson. How many times can I say his name? It's the complete opposite what I think about number 3, because that's got to grab your attention. So you click and go, oh, what's that over there? We have to play that game. But I won't do it to the sense where what Jayquest is saying in 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 8, and a receiver went down. The Steelers must go trade for receiver number 2. Now, if it happens, fantastic. But I still don't see the Steelers paying a lot of money for a receiver 2, more money than their defense. They got so many other contracts they need to sort out in terms of Najee Harris, Warren, Freiermuth, just to name a few. Right, a lot of those guys, they've got to figure out Cameron Hayward's contract. So I get you. I did set. I get you. And Sean says Bobby will get 1 million views if I played the game that way. If, like Gamer says, if I played the game this way, where I was like more of a, I don't know, tried to make up stories and push that narrative. Yeah, I definitely would get 1 million views too. But also, I'm behind. There you go. Yeah, I thought I was being a bit clever. I did kind of steal it though. Jayquest says your title isn't wrong. He's been limited in practice. I think it's very clever. I kind of stole it. I saw a comment. I saw a comment on Deke's video, and someone called him Mr. Limited because his name is Mr. Unlimited. But at the same time, I'm not that worried about this part of the process. That is camp number day 5. The pads go on. We should be focusing our energy on other ones too, like putting our focus on. And I'm going to do some more. I won't have time today, but maybe tomorrow I'll be able to look into what happened. Like, we've got to focus on stuff like that with Warren versus Queen, or backs on backers, or, defense and 7-on-7, those kind of things. People, I think, are worried. A lot of fans are worried about the small little details around Wilson's not showing up. Is Wilson a bust? All these things. That makes no sense to me. He's injured. He's slightly injured. He'll come back. I think he'll be number 1, and Fields is just filling in. But you know what? Everyone's got their opinion. Everyone's got their commentary. That's fine. It's all good. But yeah, I need to do a bit more. We all go and steal a podcast. I need a bit more rummaging around to find some videos of backs on backers. But definitely, yeah. Is he going to get fined? Is he going to get fined $48K for that? Remember last year? He got fined $48,000 for lowering his head because he was a runner. Dude, the NFL is crazy sometimes. The NFL is crazy. But yeah, welcome to the chat, Gamer. I hope you stick around, mate, or Mrs. Mate. And no, it's not a news thing. It didn't happen, but he has been very limited. Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited, has been held back a bit by Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's been answering these questions on and on and on. If you go back and watch his press conference, I know some people don't like Mike Tomlin, but you watch his press conference, the way he handles the media and the way he talked. When Brooke Pryor, you see her chirp up with a question, he just instantaneously just does one-word answers, right? Because she's always asking the same thing. Or Tomlin will talk about Wilson for 2 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever it may be, and the next question is going to be about, and when's Wilson coming back? And he said, I just answered that question. So Tomlin can't handle it. He plays games with the media, and I think he's always I don't know why, but he's always seemed to be shutting down Brooke Pryor. Now maybe Brooke Pryor's a lovely person, I don't know, but in terms of the media, it's really funny. So welcome to Gamer. Fire Warren, yeah, dude. All right, let's have a quick break. We're going to do a shorter show today. You guys have been fantastic. Quick little 30-second break. I'm going to come back and just fire away, as we say, Fire Warren. Fire away any questions. I'm at the point now, like, even though I'm working Friday, I'm pretty effing fucking keen to see football. Texans versus Bears. I don't care who's playing. I just want to see some football action. And then that's going to get us ready to see Steelers versus Texans. So maybe we can even, you're not going to watch, how the Texans do things, but it's going to be fun to see those receivers out there, or DBs, or whoever they are, the ones that's required to play a game. Like, this is where it starts to ramp up. We've got a month to go before real football, but any football to me is really good. Alrighty, so in the next 30 seconds, if you can, just send some questions away.
It's the Steelers. What isn't there about it? Studs everywhere. Man, I'll play punter if they want me to. Whatever coach tells me, I'll play. Man, I love football. I love to play the game of football. I'm ready to play football. And I'm happy to be here. Just happy to be here. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be a part of this team. So I'm happy to be here. I love the game of football. I think it's an art. I think it should be played a certain way. And that's why I love to play the game. I just love football.
Alrighty, so that was Nate Herbig from last year. I think he's been a bit quiet too. I haven't seen too many reports about him, but it also depends on what reporters are focusing on, what players, and writing certain stories. Of course, you're not going to go for a fifth stringer defensive back, or those stories won't sell as highly. So they're always talking about receiver 2, quarterback, running game, those kind of things. So I haven't heard too much about Nate Herbig. But I'm happy to be here. Hope you guys are happy to be here too. So fire away any questions, man. That's awesome. Best type of donut. That's so good. Yeah, he's so awesome. I love the way he just doesn't deal with shit. I don't know. You know what's I'd probably just say cinnamon. I don't know what you call them over there. I'm not too crazy on donuts, but I'd probably say cinnamon. Just a normal, cheap donut. Best type of donut. I don't know. You guys probably have much better donuts than we do in Australia. I'm not really, in terms of sweets, like I'll have like a chocolate here and there, but I still like savory better. I like actual food, like chicken burgers and whatnot, or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm going to put in the chat. So fire away any questions. GW has started the question train. And next week too, just going to do another promo for, I should have brought it up. I should make a picture. Another promo for AFC North Roundtable next week. I will be live Wednesday night, 8 p.m. And I will share the link for that YouTube, that YouTube channel. So AFC North Roundtable, there's going to be a Browns dude, a Bengals dude, a Ravens dude. So I'll be promoting that every week or so, and I'll be jumping on there. Good question. Another bloke I haven't seen too is TD Tom says, will Trice still be on the team, or will he get him cut? Neither have I. And that's what I'm coming back to as well. What reporters? Do they actually spend time and effort to report on Trice? Has he? I'm not even sure if he's been involved in the defense. I don't know. I haven't seen any footage of Trice at all. I've seen footage of JBJ. I've seen footage of Beanie Bishop. Some of the other cornerbacks. I haven't seen. I'll get. That's a good one. I will get to that shit. That is a very good question. Yeah, I haven't seen too much on Trice in terms of like cornerback play and reps. But the thing is too, the footage is very, I talk about Mr. Russell Wilson is very limited. The footage you're allowed to get from camp is very limited too. I think some of those videos coming out of camp aren't even allowed to be there. There are fans taking videos, and then other YouTube channels out there, they steal that content. If you ever see highlights together, and there's one out that you probably know, I think they're rubbish too. But they steal the content and they put it up, and they all they do is highlights. It's not theirs. So I would love to go over to camp and take my own footage, or at least do some like some reporting or some like interviews, standing in the hot sun wearing a Steelers hat and talking to you guys from there. Maybe one year I can do that. But yeah, it's hard to know who's playing where because we have limited footage, and also there's a lot of players. You know what I'm saying? So I reckon we'll see in preseason. We'll kind of get a bit of a grasp in preseason. Still 46 says, when will Pickins have another? So he did today. If you guys didn't see it, there was a video going around the internet, run on Twitter. George Pickens had a big catch over, I think it was JPJ again. So they're building kind of like a rivalry or competition between receiver 1 and cornerback number 1, which is a good thing to have. It's great. They'll do this in training camp, and you know what? They'll build up that relationship. And yeah, Pickens had a massive catch from Justin Fields, 7-on-7, I think it was, or 7 shots. and he went to the end zone. One-hand catch. It was cool. It was really good. All right. Okay. Let's get to this. This does fire me up. I think absolutely the onside kick the onside kick rule, it's crap. Like the fact is, and actually I even think that the new kickoff return rules are pretty terrible. I'm going to wait to see how it all pans out. But I had some bloke on the internet on NFL.com was explaining to me the rules back and forth, and these guys stand here, those guys stand up front. You can't move until you touch the ball. If the ball hits into the 20-yard line, there's a live ball. If it goes into if the ball drops into the 30-yard line, then it's a penalty. I reckon there's going to be a lot of fuckery, and I say keyword fuckery around this kickoff return. Dead set. You cannot design an onside kick until you're told that you're allowed to design an onside kick in the fourth quarter. You have to ask permission from the refs at this stage in the fourth quarter. Can I please go for an onside kick? Which means there is no surprise onside kick, which is dumb. So at that point, I think the NFL, in some way, they're trying to eliminate kickoffs. Like they say they're trying to bring them back, but this is going to be a lot of fuckery because there's going to be a lot of flags. There's going to be a lot of holding. There's going to be a lot of players moving before, the player catches the ball. And how do you determine when he's caught the ball? Is it like if you catch it and he fumbles around, is that still a catch? Do you have to wait dead set on your line that where you're like, okay, he's caught it. Now you go. Is it going to be a signal from the referee to like, yep, go? Like, I think there's a lot of crap. Like, why not just take it back to where it was? The ball's kicked off. Everyone runs down. You catch it, fair catch, or you run it out. That to me is a much more simpler process than this rubbish of you got to stand there, you got to wait, and the ball's got to dribble around. I don't know. And they talk about player safety, but at the same time, you want to change the kickoff rules. And the exact same time, the NFLPA wants to introduce another game. Like, make that make sense. How do you want to introduce another game and then also change the kickoff rules for safety? That doesn't make any terms of logic where, okay, change the kickoff rules so there's more safer for players, but you're going to make a whole nother game for players to get injured. I don't think it makes sense. Let me think things up. I'm kind of like, I'm just waiting for it to fail and see how the NFL reacts. But I know this year definitely the Steelers will be some game will be cost. Like there'll be some flag or some penalty or something's going to happen where a holding happens or the referee pulls a flag out. We're going to Cordell Patterson or Calvin Austin's is going to run back one for freaking, 70 yards and a flag's going to come out and say, oh, illegal touching at the 20 something. I don't know. It's going to be crazy. Gamer says, are we doing better than worse than last year? I'd say we're doing better. Here's what I'd say. I think the level of hype is exactly the same amount of hype, but I think our expectations of it turning into a good season should be better than last year. I think for myself, there's a lot of false confidence last year, but in terms of the players who we have acquired and the depth they're building on the O-line and guys like Queen and bringing guys into the system, and guys going into another year like Najee and Warren, new OC, I think the level of hype is going to be the exact same. But in terms of can we match that hype with actual success and not get blown out by the 49ers of 30-7, I think we're doing better than last year. That makes sense. Same hype like this, same hype, whatever it is. But the expectation is now the Steelers should be able to match that hype. Now, there's also going to be a lot of hype around Russell Wilson. Don't get me wrong. Okay, a lot of hype around him being quarterback number one. Could we get blown out by the Falcons? 1,000%. You could see a game 27-13. But I think this year with a new offense, players are buying in more than last year, maybe more confidence in Wilson they had in Kenny Pickett. Go and choose your quarterback. Go run some plays. Get Muth involved. I think Muth is going to have over 75 catches. I think we're doing much better than last year. Well, that's a good question. Will Khan sign another player? I'm going to say yes, but I don't know who. I don't think it'll be a big player. I don't know if it's going to be a massive player, but I'm going to say yes. I think they will sign another player. 46 says apple cider donuts are the best. Maple bar. Oh, how about? Oh, dude, man, I can play. Look, I would love to organize it. My goal is to try and get him on the podcast, maybe after the season when he's not too busy. Get him on the podcast after the season, have a chat to Christian 46. And my goal would to be try and play him for Pittsburgh Steelers draft in 2026. I will try and organize it or chip away at it. And I've been playing pickleball for 4 years. I've been playing 4 years, 15 years of tennis. I can play. I'm not a scrub. I know how to play. I have a lot of good techniques, skill, drive, dinking. I can play. Like I showed you my medals the other day. I got millions of them. I know how to play. So blast. I'd say if I verse him in singles, it depends on how good he is, but it'll be a pretty tough game. I might be able to get him 11-8 or 11-7, something like that. I think I would win. Will the Steelers allow 46 to get embarrassed by you in pickleball? And there's a lot of hype though, isn't there? A lot of hype around me being a good pickleball player, but I definitely could. George T says, your opinion, we need another receiver. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing another receiver step up or get signed or another D lineman. One of the players I've heard the least about is Ogunjobi. I've heard nothing about him, like nothing. I have heard from any reports out there. I haven't seen any visuals. The only one thing I heard about Ogunjobi this year is Cameron Hayward tweeted this today. First day of pads and Mr. Ogunjobi dropped a truth bomb, said our comfort zone is a beautiful place, but no one ever grows there. I don't know about you guys in the chat, but I haven't heard nothing about Ogunjobi. I've heard a lot about DeMarvin Leal, that he's been stepping up and taking over a better role, and also Keanu Benton. I think he's going to be fun to watch too in terms of like preseason and that kind of stuff. I think he'll step up. But yeah, I think we do. Like you can't deny that. You can't deny and say, we don't need a receiver. We don't need DL. We definitely need more depth. I just don't think this whole Ayuk is going to happen. The Ayuk stuff is just driving me insane. All right, guys, a few more minutes. We're going to get out of here and call it a show. Still 46 says, how badly will PF? Oh, they always do. It's run by that Bengals guy. Chris Collins, is it Collinsworth? Yeah, Collinsworth. It's run by them, of course. Just insane. Why do lamestream media reporters say that Garrett and Minka are top 5 and leave? I think they're doing it on purpose. I think TJ Watt will be left off top 10, and that's when we riot. I heard the fellas from Steeler Nation Radio. By the way, if you don't follow Steeler Nation Radio on their app, that is fantastic. That is one of the most true sources of football news that I follow too. Is Wes Yulee, Arthur Motes, and there's a bunch of reporters in there. Some you may disagree with and may not like, but at least it's Pittsburgh Steelers football news. It's not this clickbait crap. I'm sick of that shit. It's actual football guys on radio talking football all the time. So yeah, Minka's up there for sure. Garrett gave TJ Watt a lot of props, but they're going to leave TJ Watt out of it. They'll put like Micah Parsons. They'll put in Garrett. They'll put in these other blokes at defense for top 10 or whatever. And TJ, they'll leave him on the side. But we don't care. We don't care. We just want to see TJ at least win a playoff game, get 20-something sacks, and try and figure that out. If he doesn't go to the not the Hall of Fame, if he doesn't get the Depoy of the year again, I think the fans are going to be nuts. Good question. Debo gets in the. I've got a theory that I was talking to Steelers Dynasty podcast, Bubba and Shane about it. I've got a theory that James Debo Harrison is going to go in the Hall of Fame with Big Ben. I really think that he's going to go in the Hall of Fame with Big Ben. I don't know why. I just think I think they're mates. I think it's going to be one big Steeler thing where you get Big Ben in Super Bowl 43 with a pass to San Antonio Holmes to the end zone. Then you have the same game with James Debo Harrison going all the way down the sideline for 99 yards. So my theory is when Big Ben is eligible in 2 more years, I believe that's when James Debo Harrison will go in the same time. You've heard it here first, or maybe here second, but I definitely think it's going to be a good time. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of over him too, to be honest. I'm kind of over Micah Parsons. I'm kind of over his stuff. Yeah, that would be cool. Reaching out to her. Dead set. Hey, man, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. To be honest, I don't know what that means. I don't know what's a Marushan? Don't know. Top ramen? Is that like noodles? I don't know what that means. What does Marushan mean? Yeah, hope you guys, that was fun. I might be doing as well I sent a link on the community post where I was doing. It's about an hour in, and I was talking some good football with some other fellas in Australia who live down in Adelaide. Theirs is called the Outback Quarterback Podcast on Spotify or audio. If you go and check them out, I'm like episode 183 or something like that. I'm 180, 182, 183. And yeah, I do a bit of a Steelers segment. And yeah, it was a good time. So I might be also getting a guy. Another bloke reached out to me before. There's an Aussie guy who knows those blokes, and he's living in Pittsburgh. I might be able to get a guy in living in Pittsburgh who's from Australia. He's been living there 3 years. We've got ramen noodles. I don't know the other one though. Ooh, okay. Last question. If you could get a ring, if you could get in a ring with a pro boxer and tag team either. So me and a pro boxer and tag team either a Roo hyped up on meth or an angry koala. Oh wait. I'd probably choose the koala. You mean to fight the koala? I'd probably choose to fight the koala. Or tag team. Oh, you want me to tag team? Oh, no. If I'm having a tag team, if my partner is, I'm going the Roo. I'm going the Roo hyped up on meth. That's what I'm choosing. Alrighty. Guys, that was great. I'm going to get out of here. Going to get ready for, yeah, they do carry him, by the way. Fight the box. Okay. If you could fight the boxer and tag team with a Roo. Oh, yeah, I'm choosing the Roo. I think. Yeah, I'm choosing the Roo. The Roo. Scoop and score on the kangaroo. That's what my mate Brian McFadden said. All right, guys, let's get out of there. It was a great show. I will see you guys. What's tomorrow? No, maybe. No, not tomorrow. I'll be around somewhere doing videos. I don't know about live though. But if you guys, if you get a chance, try and watch the Hall of Fame game. I know it's not real football, but at least we have some football. Yeah, I see you've been posting that too. Fire Canada. Yeah, we'll never forget. Dead set. Alrighty. Thank you everyone in the chat. Over 17 people, 18 people. Thank you everyone who was new in the chat too. Did we get to 2,475? No, we didn't. If you didn't sub yet, sub so I can have 2,475. I'm sick of seeing 2,474. Alrighty, I will see you guys later on. Thank you, George, Sean, 46, Daredevil Quest, Yuli and Toddy, and everyone else in the chat. Let's play some music and get out of here. Time to get pumped up. Not really worried about this Wilson Fields. Just get behind your team, pumped up, go through the process. Things will be fine. We're going to have a good season. It's going to be a really good season. All right, guys. I'll see you later. I'll see you guys later. Hey, Rod. Left the light on. See you later. Bye. Let's go. Thank you, Gamer. Thank you. 2475. Thank you. It's been a slow month. All right, guys. I'll see you later on. All right. See ya.